and welcome to the first ever episode of The Hot Seat. This is Cardinal and Cream's podcast where we want to dive deep into current events and just kind of what's the sitch about them. So I am Norah Taylor. I'm a junior digital media major.
And I am Jennie Simmons. I am a senior DMC major as well.
All right. So today we're going to take a look at the recent free soloing of Taipei 101 by Alex Honnold, which is crazy.
It really is. It was something else. And just for reasons for y'all, those who are listening, a little bio about Alex himself. He is 40 years old, and he is a professional American rock climber known for free soloing, which is climbing without any protective gear. Guy only carries around a bag of chalk around his waist.
Insane.
And before Taipei, he is the only human to free solo Yosemite's El Capitan, I think I said that right, which is a 3,000-foot rock wall. And just as of about 4 years ago, he became a father to two children who are ages 2 and 4 as of currently, and he's got a wife. And yeah, like you said, this past Sunday, he climbed Taipei, which is a 101-story skyscraper.
I remember when I first heard about this dude, and it was like the Netflix documentary, The Free Soloing, which Netflix did a documentary. Was it about him doing El Capitan, or was that Half Dome? I think that was El Capitan.
Well, Netflix has both of his documentaries. So There's one about El Capitan is called Free Solo, and it just got added onto Netflix because Netflix live streamed his climb of Taipei.
Right.
It was live. He climbed it in an hour and 31
minutes. And then
minutes.
He stood at the top and was just sick.
He took a selfie.
And said sick.
I know. It's really is crazy.
Honestly, kind of valid. I kind of strive to be the kind of person that just does something absolutely insane and cool like that and just goes sick,
Exactly. So nonchalant about it. But I'm he's just standing at the top of this tower, and I could not believe it. I got anxiety watching it, and I was doing nothing.
I didn't even watch the whole thing. I've seen clips of it, but I remember when I first saw the one of him doing El Capitan, and my mom was watching it in the living room, and she was like, "Yeah, check out this dude. He's rock climbing," because it was around the time. She watched it around the time that I was into rock climbing. And when I say into rock climbing, I mean little high school league, meet at the gym, vertical escape for Monday nights for a couple hours, doing indoor.
Right.
I hate outdoor climbing. I despise outdoor climbing.
It's a lot scarier and
it's
a lot more consequences at stake.
Even with protective gear.
Well, yeah, because outdoors, there's no consistency. Indoor rock climbing, you have the little multicolored little handholds.
Yeah.
But outside, you just climb on a rock wall. You don't know where you can grab and what will give away.
No. And I mean, there are some outdoor specific parks and stuff that have,
right.
People do these routes and you can see where to hold because you can see the drag path of the chalk that people have covered their hands in and then climbed, and you can see little ridges that just are layered with chalk. But you also know, because of that, you know where to put your hooks and you tie your ropes off because you're going to be smart enough to use ropes and hooks.
And on the topic of that, the reason why we're even talking about Alex is, was the climb selfish of him to do in his circumstances, especially being a husband with two very young children?
Yeah, because, I mean, there's a risk that you're taking when you free solo something. And you have two kids. Oh, and they're not even high school children. They're 2 and 4.
Yeah, and he's dancing with death by doing this, literally.
And potentially taking away a father figure from these kids.
And that is one of the biggest reasons why he's getting so much backlash right now. And and people are like, why did he do it?
And so my thought when I was I first heard about this, and I've heard people with the backlash of you're taking your father. I'm what is worth more? Not even risking losing your life, or showing and setting an example for your kids of, look, this is how you go and do what you want to do. And I think those are the two sides of the argument that people are going to fall on. And he's obviously on the latter. If he is, or if he's just, this is what I want to do, so I'm going to do it.
I think, unfortunately, he is on that line because knowing we were going to do this and talk about him, I did a little deep dive last night and got into him trying to figure out his motivations behind everything. And what I found out is that it is all about personal satisfaction for him. He loves the idea of being able to do something like this and be utterly and completely fearless about it. Because he does not fear at all when he does this kind of thing. And it gives him such a physical and mental satisfaction. That's it. And I think also you're right. Unfortunately, he very clearly loves doing this more to the point than just being there for his family.
Yeah.
And I think for me personally, the reason why he does that is this kind of thing has been the one constant thing in his life. Because in Free Solo, when he was doing El Capitan, he was living in a van. And his wife, I think, was only his girlfriend at the time, if it was the same woman at all.
Yeah.
And so being able to free solo like this and do these things has been one of the only constant things in his life.
It's been his thing.
It has been his thing. And his love for it has just completely consumed him to the point he doesn't think about the others that could potentially get hurt in this.
Yeah. So, and I mean, it's not that his wife doesn't support him.
Right. No, she absolutely does.
She is absolutely supportive, which I think there is a merit in having something that you know is yours, having something that you really put time and dedication into. Mm-hmm. And so as much as I don't agree, and I think what he's doing is stupid, I'm just going to say it, I do think that there's merit to his confidence. And I think it's a confidence that a lot of people need to have. Not necessarily, please don't have the confidence to go and climb a skyscraper with no protection. I mean the confidence of like, this is something that I'm putting work into and I know I can do it. Mm-hmm. That like whenever I'm going to stand at the top on a windy day, I can just look out across and say sick. Like when it comes to our own passions, you need to be able to get to the point where you're going to say, look, I'm just going to do it. Mm-hmm. And I know I can do it because I will. And I think the lack of that confidence is what stops us from doing a lot of different things.
Very true. And there's also merit to his ambition.
Yeah.
Especially for the prep that he puts into these kind of things. I found out he climbed this tower twice before it was even filmed live.
Did he do that was it Free Solo that he climbed it twice?
I don't know if it was Free Solo, but I found somewhere like he had like gotten on it twice. I don't think he climbed to the very top, but he had gotten on it and like practiced climbing it a little bit.
You'd have to.
Oh yeah.
You'd have to.
Can't just have a chalk and be like, oh,
let me just figure it out as I go. YOLO.
Literally.
YOLO indeed.
YOLO.
YOLO for now.
I feel like that's his life motto at this point, just YOLO.
YOLO. Sick.
Hey, he's keeping it alive, so merit to that as well.
Keeping it real, keeping it sick, nonchalant.
But you still just gotta wonder, how much longer can he keep doing this?
Here's my question. Okay. If he were to do this with rope, with hooks, would that detract from the merit of what he did?
Okay, personally, to me, no. Because just the climb itself is impressive. Because if you've seen pictures of that tower, it is not a climbable tower. It is all metal and glass.
Yeah, and like...
And curvilicious, too. That's a curvilicious tower.
Curvilicious building.
That's the best way to describe what that tower looks like.
Yeah. No, I mean, okay, there's like... In the rock climbing world, there's a term for like when you have ropes and when you have hooks and you still do it without like falling and leaning on those ropes and stuff. It's called like flashing the wall, which is like, okay.
Flashing the wall.
Which, okay, that sounds so weird now that I think about it. But it's true. It's like, I can't remember if it's specifically first try or if it's, but I think flashing is whenever you can get up the wall with your belay system without falling back and using the belay. Because like whenever you do a wall, sometimes you'll climb up halfway, you'll fall and slip, but you keep going and then you do it and do it and do it until you can do the whole wall without falling. And so whenever you do that, that's called the flash, and it's like a big moment. And then you have what's your highest level, which is like your V9s, V8s, or 5.9s, 5.8. Okay, if it's like V1 or 2 or 3.
That's a lot of numbers.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay, it's crazy. It's been a while since I've done this, so this could be wrong. And I'm sorry, rock climbers, if I'm wrong, or if this is just the building that I went to thing. So take this with a grain of salt.
Disclaimer.
I am not a professional rock climber, and it's been a hot minute since I've done it. But if it's like V1 or 2 or 3, then that's bouldering. Which is when you don't have ropes on it, but the wall's only like 10 foot and you've got like the Red Sea of mattresses below you.
Right. You have safety nets.
Which I still hate it. I hate the feeling of not having a harness on me. Okay. Anyways, then if it's a more of like a 32-foot wall, that's like your 5'9", 5'8", 5'10", 5'12", I think is the highest. Anyways, whoa, that's unrelated to what he did, because he's over here climbing skyscrapers. Ain't nobody putting markers on that guy.
And I think for him personally, wearing any type of safety harness would take away the merit for him, just because his satisfaction comes from like feeling fearless and knowing nothing can stop him from dying.
And there is a degree of novelty that is detracted if he doesn't do it without the harness.
Well, people like, he just used ropes and climbed up the tower, so what?
Well, okay, I feel like people would still be like, yo, sick, you just climbed Taipei 101.
Right. But it wouldn't be nearly as impressive.
Right.
But he also wouldn't be getting nearly as much backlash.
Yeah. And he wouldn't be getting nearly as much backlash. But the question then is, could he have used ropes? Because if you're doing ropes, you've got to have those like clamps and stuff. So we'd have to have like nooks and crannies. And there are parts on that building that you like you said, are curvilicious. There ain't no like wedges
he probably
to shove
would
a
have
clamp
had
into.
To have specialized like harnesses and like a whole rig.
Or done like one rope up at the top that's then like dangled down.
Yeah.
All the way through, which then at that case, it's harder to tell if you're leaning on the rope as a crutch, because you can look like you're not falling, but lean kind of back, and it takes the support a little bit of, like, it supports you a little bit. So in that sense, yes, it would detract from the merit, because there would be no way to show he did that all himself.
Right.
Which is crazy that he did.
It's just a whole crazy situation as it is. The whole thing is just actually crazy. And I actually found out he did not get paid for this nearly as much as people think he did.
I didn't even think about paying.
Like he, in his words, it was an embarrassing low paycheck for like what it did and like what Netflix gave him for him. He only got paid like
Netflix
$500K for it, the whole thing. And I'm sorry, he thinks that's an embarrassingly low amount of money.
The things I would do for $500K.
Would you climb El Taipei?
No. Girl, if I climb El Taipei,
I think I combine the
I don't care what I'm climbing. If I'm climbing something free solo for $500K, I've never seen the $500K because I'm dying before I touch that cash.
Right. I'm falling 5 feet up.
I don't think... I went to Yosemite, and there's the option to like walk up a path to the top of Half Dome. And I would love to do it eventually, because when I went, we didn't get the chance to. And I think eventually in my life, I would like to. But I'd be shaking my timbers the entire way up.
Shaking in your boots the
shaking
whole
in my
way
boots,
up.
shivering me timbers. Because I'll look over the side and I'm like,
Well, girl, when I went to the Grand Canyon, you know at the Grand Canyon they have that glass bridge that you can walk out?
Guys, when I went to the Grand Canyon, it was closed. They
That's so sad. I didn't know you could close a Grand Canyon. Well,
but you can.
We know.
So no, I don't know that there's a glass bridge.
If y'all visit the Grand Canyon, see if it's closed or not.
It was the water main. The water main busted on the North Ridge, which is where we were headed.
Oh.
And so like all their water and all their bathrooms were like not able to be used. So they had to close it because they didn't want people to be dehydrated and also not be able to utilize the restroom. So they closed it.
Yeah, but no, when I went to the glass bridge, and it's just a glass thing that you can walk out on.
Girl, that's not just, I'd shiver my timbers.
I got maybe a few steps, and I immediately was like,
nope.
And I walked right back off, and I said, y'all have fun, and I walked off.
Yeah, no, because what if it cracks?
That's my thing. I'm like, all it'll take is one wrong step.
What, like, this is my question. I know he has chalk, but how are his hands not sweaty?
I mean, the chalk does a pretty good thing of like keeping his hands all dry and stuff.
Yeah, but like,
I mean, I guess you've done this as much as he has, and he has such confidence. Like he doesn't get scared or nervous doing it. For him, it's just crazy. Get to the top.
What happened to your amygdala that you don't feel fear?
What?
Your amygdala. It's the part of your brain that triggers fear.
I was about to say, honey, you said that word. Look at who you're talking to.
I'm sorry. Amygdala. It is the part of your brain that triggers fear. And also, it's like fear. It's not hunger. That's something else. It's fear in something. It's been a hot minute since I've taken psychology. But anyways, what happened to his amygdala that he's not like...
It's gone. It probably climbed out of his brain and like he doesn't have it.
It free soloed his little way out the ears.
His way out. And at this point, I believe it.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, go ahead.
I was like, no, but dude just has like no fear doing this kind of stuff. If you see the way he climbs, I mean, he does it very carefully and like he checks all of his like grips and his footholds.
Yeah.
But he's just going for it. It's like watching a spider monkey.
YOLO. You had a quote you said from him.
I do. So back on the topic of talking about his family, yes, his children and his wife, during my deep dive, I found an interview that he did with the New York Times not too long ago before he climbed Taipei.
Guys, we're going to pronounce it every way at some point through this podcast, so at least once we hit it correctly.
It's called diversity. We're just trying out different names.
Maybe.
Trying out the different names.
It's called process of elimination. That's what it's called.
That's much better than what I just said. But anyway, yeah, I found an interview that he did in the New York Times. And so I found 2 questions that this reporter asked him related to his like family and all that.
Okay.
Disclaimer, it does not paint him in a very positive light for how he responded, because I briefly told you a little snippet last night.
Yeah, but I told her to not tell me word for word what it was because I wanted to be surprised. So
exactly. So prepared to be surprised. So yeah, one of the questions the reporter asked him was, do you censor your ambitions because of the family? And this is what he said. I mean, maybe not too much. Certainly no one's ever goading me on. No one's encouraging me to do harder things. Everyone's kind of like, why don't you stay at home, play with the kids? So it means that I'm going to do something. I have to be really psyched about it.
Okay. I'm trying to like digest the little pieces. Mm-hmm. I guess so he's just saying he's really, really psyched about climbing more so than staying home.
And being with his children. Like, he gets more hyped up about these potential climbs than he does being with his kids.
Or is he just saying that, like, could it, I feel like it could also be interpreted as, like, he's saying he loves being home with his kids so much. Oh, no, like it's, okay. So, because he's saying, like, I love being home with my kids, so that's why I have to be so psyched up to be able to do this. Which then in turn is saying that he is more psyched up about it than being with his kids. But at least he's not saying, like, I don't care about those little goblins.
Well, at least it's like, he's like, it's got to be a really big thing for him to take away from his kids, which
it is.
That's a great thing. It's a good thing, but it's still like, you're leaving your kids.
It goes back to this idea that it's not just about him risking something, but also the fact that he is setting an example for his kids that is showing, you want to do something, you got to go do it.
Yeah, and don't let nobody stop you and like hold you back, which is a
fear
great
stop you.
Yeah, which is
maybe
a great
he passed
lesson.
on the genetics of a weakened amygdala to his children, and maybe they're going to be fearless people, and they're going to be world leaders, or they are going to climb the Empire State Building.
Go for it, kids.
Go for it, kids.
Be safe. No, I think he will like end up raising very fearless, ambitious children.
You would have to. They're going to have, dude, those kids are going to have great, like, 2 truths and a lie stories growing up.
That the
like,
truth.
They're going to be able to go to their friends and be like, yeah, my dad totally climbed Half Dome and El Capitan.
Are his kids going to sound like that? Are they going to sound like little divas?
In my headcanon, yes, they are.
Little divas. He's going to have fearless little divas.
Yeah. I saw a different quote from him. That was after he had done it, he was sitting with Netflix and they were doing like the whole interview thing with them. And they were like, so what do you want people to take away from this? And bro was like, I think I've pretty much figured out that people take away from it what they want.
Very true, my man.
And I was like, valid. And he definitely seems, here's what I will give him credit for. He does not seem like he wants fame for this. He is doing this for himself. And he is not doing it to like bring glory to himself or be the next great inspiration to the world. He's like, you know, I did this thing. If you want to be inspired by it and take away some great lesson, go for it. This is just what I did.
Yeah, he's definitely not doing this to get fame and attention.
No.
Because, I mean, this is the first time I've heard about him since he did El Capitan, which was like years ago.
It was like 2019, I think. I think the first
El Capitan was 2019?
Yeah, because I looked it up to see. I was trying to figure out if this is the first of note since he had kids, and it is. Because I'm pretty sure the last like one of note. I'm not saying the last time he ever free soloed anything, but the last free solo of like note that was recognized was, I think, El Capitan in 2019, which was the other documentary on Netflix or wherever it got streamed.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Now.
So,
but that was still, as of right now, 7 years ago.
Yeah.
So
sorry, I just had to do math for a second there.
You made me question myself. I was like, please tell me I counted right.
No, you did. And I was just checking that it took me a second.
I'm glad to have a second opinion.
We're so good at math.
I know.
Anyways. So yeah, it's
crazy. And I do have a second quote. And this is the one that really doesn't paint him in a favorable light. Because the question is, well, the reporters was like, but it's not that you have more to live for. It's that your loss would be felt in a deep way for more than just Sandy, who was his wife. This is his response.
Oh, no.
Kind of. I mean, baby Alice wouldn't remember. Baby June probably wouldn't remember. She'll be 4 in another month. It'd be felt, and obviously it'd be super hard for Sandy, but they'd be well provided for. I don't feel like I'd be leaving them in the lurch. They wouldn't even necessarily be traumatized their whole lives. So yeah, this is the one that does not paint him in a favorable light. Because from this is what I got and be like, I mean, yeah, it would be bad, like, if he left Sandy to, like...
Yeah.
To, like, raise them on his own, but he'd also be like... It's also kind of like he's like, they'd be fine in a few years.
That he's thought about it, though. He's thought about it, and he said the effect of my leaving... My demise is not greater than the satisfaction I get from a successful climb. Which is a hot take. Take.
I read this and I immediately was like, in my mind, I was also like, as soon as I read it, I was like, this is an ignorant man, because I don't think he realizes how hard single parenting is. Not only that, if he had fallen off of Taipei, it would have been filmed live.
It would have been filmed live, and there's a huge crowd there to see it. So it's not even just his family that's going to be affected. It's...
Yeah, but his family would have to grow up, his kids, his daughters would have to grow up knowing my dad's death is online and on film, which is like the Charlie Kirk situation.
Thousands. Oh, yeah.
So, like, that's that. But I'm like, it's crazy that he said that to me. It really is. I read that and I had to take a minute because I was utterly shocked.
Yeah. I think it just goes to show that when you're doing something, a feat that is this risky, this challenging, this impactful, there's a lot of different nuances you have to think about. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying it's all stupid, it's all wrong, because obviously he's fine.
He is. Thank God for him being okay. He did it well.
He did it well.
Completely unharmed.
And is a very talented individual. So there are nuances to it. Mm-hmm. And it's one of those things that you're going to fall on one side of the fence or the other. Yeah. You're either going to be like, this is the coolest thing ever, sick. Or you're going to be like, that's the stupidest thing ever, and it's sick.
Yeah, I think for this situation, there is no in between.
Yeah, no, there's not.
There's not.
No, there's really... Well, I guess there could be some people that don't fully think about it.
Yeah, I mean, there could be those few that are like, I could care less about this.
Or like that they're like, I can see both sides of it, you know. But if we're detached enough, if we're just viewing this on a tiny screen from miles away,
true,
and all we see is the little drone circle of him going like, hey, I did it, then I'm going to be like, that's cool. That's really silly, but cool. I don't know.
Well, I think the sides kind of flip when people start finding out more about his life. Like, oh, this guy had kids.
And his attitude towards it. I think if he had if he had shown that he had thought about that, if he had an attitude that was like, look, I recognize that this is a risk I'm taking. Here are, the steps I'm taking, whether it's different safety precautions that we're just not aware of. Maybe he has taken some of those and we just don't know about them. Or if he's showing like, look, I've had these conversations with my family, including my children, and I recognize what would happen if this were to go wrongly. But I want to be able to show my kids and I want to be able to show the world that you can do things that are scary. You can do things that are hard. And you can work hard enough to achieve that kind of skill and talent. If he had an attitude that was not necessarily more humble, because I think he's very humble in this process.
He is very humble in all this.
But that was more nuanced, then I think I would be okay with it, because I'd be like, I don't agree with you. I don't think my values are in line with yours, but I can recognize that you've taken the appropriate time to think about it.
Yeah, and there's merit in him wanting to teach that.
Yes.
But
it doesn't seem like he does.
It doesn't sound like it. I think it sounds like, oh, if I meet my demise doing this, they'll be okay without me. Like, my daughters will be okay without a dad. And he lost his dad when he was 19.
Yeah.
Also, side note, he does not have life insurance. I also found out. He doesn't have life insurance. He thinks it's a scam. It's a sidebar, but like, he does not have life insurance.
Interesting.
I found that out too.
Well, so I guess as a conclusion, to wrap all of this up, to tie it in a nice, pretty little safe bow.
A harness bow.
A harness bow.
Attached to the appropriate ropes.
Yes, with the clamps and the hooks. If you want to go climb a building, do so safely. Think about others around you. And if you want to do something cool, do it. And then look really cool as you say sick.
Yeah. Take a selfie.
Take a selfie.
But no, this is not Cardinal and Cream encouraging union students to outgo.
Cardinal Cream does not condone climbing Taipei 101.
Please let us not walk out after this airs and someone is on the library trying to climb the library.
They're like, Alex, I wanted to go to the dome.
Do not challenge Alex Honnold as your spirit animal doing that. Please do not.
That'd be crazy. All right. Thank everybody.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
Bye.